What constitutes an efficient realtor? Mr. Mahesh Rohra, a realtor from South Mumbai, shares his tips with Knowledge Assist.
In a business like this, the realtor should always focus on the convenience of the customer. Many times, clients want to see the flat or the property at a particular time, which is not a very convenient time for a realtor. But having said that, I would say the realtor should work at the convenience of the customer. I have myself given inspections to one or two customers at between 7:15 and 7:45 in the morning. We were just now trying to do a transaction in South Bombay, and it was a mandated property for us, and we had an offer for an X amount from our direct client, wherein we would have made brokerage from both the sides, and we had an offer from an indirect client of X plus Y, wherein we would make brokerage only from one side. So we still chose to represent both the offers, commercial offers, to the seller, and the seller picked up obviously the X plus Y offer, because while selling property we will want the best possible figures, and so we ended up getting less brokerage, but my seller ended up getting a better deal. The realtor should also always work in the interest of the of your customer, whether it be it a seller or a buyer. Most people don't realize that all the three parties, so the buyer is also equally stressed while he is doing the transaction, the seller is also equally stressed because he is also handling the transaction. Simultaneously, the broker is also always stressed because he has to make his bread and butter from the transaction. So since all the three parties are fairly stressed during the process of the transaction, if a good broker ensures that the transaction flows smoothly, transparently, without any major hassles and issues, it is a stress-free transaction for the buyer and the seller. It is a win-win situation for all the three parties. Primarily, there are 6 to 7 parts of a transaction. If I have to spell it out correctly, first stage is the inspection. Second is soft negotiations. Third is closure negotiations. Fourth is paper negotiations. Then fifth is signing and registration of the agreements. Sixth is again the possession, and seventh, the last stage, which is the most important for the realtor, is the brokerage. Now, if an efficient real estate consultant should be very good at handling all the above 7 parts of the transaction, right from the word go till the last stage, which in effect would translate into the realtor getting his commission also in a stress-free manner from the party he is representing. So technically this is how it should, I mean, if he is good at handling all the 7 parts, then it's great. Being very transparent, very honest, very upfront right in the beginning, and coordinate with each other very well on most of the 7 parts of the transaction which I discussed earlier. If there's complete transparency between two brokers or two realtors in a transaction, and it's turned out to be a good and a stress-free transaction for both the parties concerned, it will be a win-win situation for all of them. Infrastructure is the basis of any successful business. A good infrastructure for a realtor means a good office, having a good team of people, having a good data operator, having 2 or 3 cars with drivers at their disposal to so that the sales guys can run for client inspections, having 2-3 scooters. So basically all this will add to the efficiency of a good real estate consultancy. First and foremost, if a realtor works in a bit of a scientific way, it helps in the sense that every sales representative should have at least 2 or 3 inspections per day, which in effect translates into approximately 60 inspections in a month, which in effect would translate into maybe 1.5 to 2 transactions in a month. So if you work scientifically, it is always better. But having said that, in a bad market, in a poor market, none of these scientific formulas also sometimes fail. I wish or I dream is that every realtor over a period of time should try and become a property investor or a licensor at some point of time. Finally, most important is the ultimate dream that I would have for a realtor is to have a very good portfolio of property investments uh, at the end of his career, so that he can sustain himself smoothly for the balance part of his life.